Imagine having a lack of girls in the scene so you have to become one instead. Not how trans people work, but that would be hilarious, if everyone could just fucking morph on command just to complete a petty goal like filling in a lack of girls. At YanDJ then the sometimes it takes the best man to be the best girl will hit differently. At YanDJ well, I'm fine being a man, and I would surely be fine being a woman too if I were one, but holy cow if I could morph on command whenever I wanted, that would be amazing nonetheless. Sounds like a ton of fun. Well, much like when I went to the dentist I mentioned I play SSB and she said she ain't good at it, but she rather play Mario Kart rolling on the floor laughing. I swear there are more girls like this than actual girls in the Smash scene. Thank God this isn't a physical sport. That was what I was thinking when bro stood up and had a skirt on LMAOOO. At YanDJ. Yo, if we can morph on command then I wouldn't stop being a girl. I'd be up in these clouds, all day. LOL. At Reyes. Sadly, and if you dare have a different opinion in Twitch chat, mods. Mods? Where are you mods? Do your job mods. It's sad and hilarious at the same time. At ULKNYT that's not an opinion, it's just incorrect, lies and speech intended to harm. At Zero still an opinion. You just don't like it and further proving that you'd run to the mods and TLDR why someone should have their opinion suppressed. At Zero it's a fact that's a guy, facts don't care about feelings. At Zero RP equals reality. At Gatton you're just incorrect, she says she is so she is, that's how it works. At Zero it's a guy. He can believe he is a woman but he will stay being a guy. At Zero where is the intent to harm? At Reyes yeah I can't think of a real one. At Sebastian Olivio that's incorrect to how this works. At Zero LOL what this I scientifically untrue face with tears of joy. At Sebastian Olivio true. At Zero it's not always lies and speech intended to harm. Some people just stick to what they think is the truth and aren't about to let someone tell them otherwise. I suppose this applies for both sides. The intention to harm isn't necessarily there and they just want to freely express their opinion. I believe opinion is the right term as this debate of what is fact has been going on for far too long and honestly both sides have their fair share of strong points. Except we're dealing with a group who will actually take serious offense at it. At Coldies4593 if I call you a loser then I'm intending to hurt you. By repeatedly misgendering someone you're doing the same but worse. Already picking on someone and calling them a loser over and over isn't allowed, so why should this be? At Fox that's incorrect but even if it was this is not a question of science, this is a question of a social construct. At Extus that's not an opinion once more, stating that people are crazy and should be normal getting triggered and throwing offensive words at them is not an opinion, transphobic people are snowflakes. And let's take a second to realize almost all of you that posted harmful comments have anime profile pictures. At Zero no one misgendered that person though before you wrote that message. Why did this get any upvotes at all LOL? At Coldies4593 the first replies immediately do, and the original comment implies it, and then later is showed by the original poster's reply. At Zero also, hateful or harmful opinion is still an opinion. As a black man, if someone said they didn't like black people or felt that black people were not as good as white people, I would heavily disagree but I would not say that their racist opinion is somehow not an opinion. At Coldies4593 that's not an opinion it's an refusal to reality with in response hateful comments that are blatantly false. My question is why does anyone care? Just be what you want and let others be whatever. Literally who gives a shit what other people are? At Coldies4593 it's not like saying I don't like black people it's more like saying black people are actually white and are lying neighbors. At Coldies4593 it is feint of reality to show a harmful course of action and attempt to say it's an opinion. At Zero this is a straight up lie. The first few replies not only don't misgender anyone, they don't even talk about anyone specifically. In fact, they don't gender anyone whatsoever to even misgender anyone much less the specific person in the video. Not only that, but the original comment is a general statement, and it's a joke. Clearly you have no sense of humor, but trying to make the general statement about a specific person is narcissistic. At Coldies4593 user Reyes, reply 5. At Cosmic Frank it's a joke. No one cares. No one is stopping anyone from doing anything in this comment section. The only people stopping others from doing what they want / living how they want to live are people like you crying about the jokes that people make. At Zero. A course of action and an opinion are different. However, the literal definition of opinion is a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. This is important because opinions can be right or wrong. Subjectively, good or bad. Saying that you don't feel like some person is a girl or boy is not stating a course of action, it's stating a judgment made in your mind, aka an opinion. At YanDJ, that's called being gender fluid. At Never Knows Best, from what I understand, gender fluid people can't do that either. It's random, like I've been in boy mode for a week, maybe I am just a goo, oh, no, there it is, girl. So dumb when people intentionally misgender someone, and as soon as they're called out for it, they always fall back to it's only an opinion, like no shit, it's an opinion. But guess what, being racist, sexist, and bigoted are based on having opinions too. Not all opinions are created equal. If you wanna be an asshole to strangers, just say so and stop hiding behind my free speech. At 0. Well, tell me, what does the word she means? At Coldies4593, literally who cares? At Guacamole. Because people agree with it. At ULKNYT, she is a pronoun, used to represent anyone who prefers this, like a name. Your gender is not even relevant to your pronouns, although in this case it is. At SJ, maybe tag whoever you are responding to. If you are responding to the original post, they literally didn't misgender anyone. At Coldies4593, how is this in any form a joke? This is a representation of people's incorrect beliefs. Also, you clearly care, you replied with paragraphs. At Cosmic Frank, apparently you care. At least enough to cry in the comments. At Coldies4593, this is objectively incorrect though, it's not an opinion, it is opposite to reality. At 0. So now, what is a woman? At ULKNYT, a woman is someone who identifies as such. At Coldies4593, when did I say I didn't care? Yes, I care. At SJ. Nope, we all know the truth. You know, I know. You can pretend like the truth is flexible and changes at will, but we all know that one cannot change their gender at will. You can switch up the meaning of words all you want, but we all know the actual truth. At 0. So you're saying that women are so meaningless that me, a whole man, can take their place and become a woman just because I say so? Correct. This comment section fucking sucks. I have no idea what this person identifies as, but if she says she's a woman, your greasy sweaty gamer ass has no right to say she isn't. At ULKNYT, just because something is a social construct does not make it meaningless. Maybe it is in a sense in the end, but everything is meaningless from a cosmic position. There is not a single trait that is either struggled to replicate by cis women that cannot be replicated by trans women. Trans women can't give birth? We're actually making way in science, but even without that, some cis women cannot experience women but women be cooking / other gender roles. Gender roles are not always to be followed, and a lot of trans women do follow. At Neoxy, exactly. At Coldies4593, literally who cares? At ULKNYT, did you not realize that the Socratic method only works on someone contradicting themselves? At Neoxy. Then close your eyes and leave, the adults are talking. It's obvious you can't handle conversation. At 0. So, is there no difference between women who have uteruses and have periods and men who ejaculate sperm? At ULKNYT, look who's talking, you're like 12, and if you aren't, then it's just kinda sad, you're acting like you are a face with raised eyebrow. At 0. I'm just glad that you're still here willing to answer my questions. At Neoxy. What? Asking questions? You're the one begging us to stop. Only children can't handle tough conversations. No, join us or leave. You can stay and watch if you want. At ULKNYT, bruh, don't tell me what to do like I have any form or reason to listen to you. I will say what I think should be said, and you can't stop me from doing it by speaking like some weird old British intellectual to make people think you know what you're saying. You don't. At ULKNYT, no, some women are barren, some men can't ejaculate, meaning these features are synonymous with man or woman. You're conflating sex for gender. At Neoxy. But aren't you the one that says we don't have the right to say that others aren't what they say they are? So by your logic, you're the one telling me what to do when you say I have to call that man a she. You're the one making sure that I follow the arbitrary rules that you and your friends say that I do. So if I can't tell you what to do, then you do the same, and don't be upset if I don't follow the rules you set for me and the others. Agreed. At ULKNYT, telling you to fuck off and saying that misgendering someone is wrong isn't that same thing. How do you even come to that conclusion? Also assuming every trans person is friends each other's is kinda weird, like what, how? At 0 the user Reyes does not misgender anyone in reply number 5. It's almost as if you can't read. He uses the word girls twice to describe people who identify as girls. That is literally the opposite of misgendering. Unless you can show me in that reply where he calls someone who identifies as a girl, a guy. Adul KNYT, yes, that should be a rule, because of transgender individuals are shown to have 15/16 suicide rate reduction by of supporting close friends/family, so clearly what you say. A considerable amount of detransitioning people say that they could not take the stress of having people attack their identity repeatedly for such a small occurrence. At 0 jokes can be representative of anything. You saying how is this a joke doesn't make it less of a joke. The real question is, why are you policing jokes? Why do you think you can decide for everyone else what is or isn't funny? At Coldies 4593, yes, in such with quotations implying trans women are not women, which is misgendering, believe it or not. At Neoxy, how does one misgender someone? By calling them a different pronoun than what they tell you to call them. Isn't that telling me what to do? You calling me bad words because I don't follow the rules that was just made up, is you trying to enforce the rules. Which again, is telling me what to do. A little self-awareness from you would be great. Adul KNYT, transgender people have been around for 1000s of YRS, but okay, also when have I commented at you? I've only commented at your comments. As in I have not called you bad words, but I get it, some little sensitive snowflakes can't take bad words. Oy vey, this is getting good. At 0 the quotations don't mean that. In fact the word woman wasn't even used in that message. You are projecting your own meaning into their reply. You are transphobic. At 0. If a woman is barren, does that make her not a woman? Women automatically go by she and her. It's not progress to take these terms and now throw them in the air and say anyone can use them. If men can just come in and take everything away from women, what will they have left? Men can't have periods, something exclusive to women. Men can't have babies, something exclusive to women. Even if some women are barren, that doesn't change the fact that they have a womb that ovulates. Men cannot compare. Men have stronger bone structures and stronger muscle development from puberty. Women don't have the things men have, and men don't have the things women have. A simple word won't bridge the gap between men and women. They are different and will always be different. At 0. If they can't handle someone making fun of them, then don't be on the internet looking like a clown, but I guess it makes sense now since the Smash scene has become a circus. Adul KNYT. Carrot, tell me you started browsing 4chan a week ago without telling me you started browsing 4chan a week ago. Hope you develop a proper personality someday, robot. Adul KNYT, or weird bro. Your jokes are outdated and you smell. At Ment. Everyone I don't like is a bot. What an NPC thing to say. I guess you got your latest firmware update. I would tell you that I've never been on 4chan, but it's obvious truth doesn't matter to an NPC like UP. Adul KNYT, imagine being so poor you needed to play Mario Kart on TDS. God, poor people are the worst. Adul KNYT, too lazy to read, but if you weren't actively trying to invalidate my gender I'd low-key find this funny. You speak like one of those PPLs on r/nice guys. Face with tears of joy, 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 face with tears of joy. It's 100% true that there are more trans women than actual females in the scene, but this is just offensive, man. Shut up. I think there are more female characters in the game than female competitors in the scene, lol. At Neoxy. Are you sure it's you being lazy or you just don't like what I said? Yes, run away from a conversation where you have a chance to explain your reasoning and insult me because you have no argument. Weak. Smash YouTube comment section be like I study and argue about bitches all the time but yet I still have none. Showers are bad. At Dara FGC. Are you afraid of someone being offensive, even if it's the truth? Either you add something constructive to the conversation or leave. How do you think it feels for the women that get invalidated because men decide to be better women than them? You never think of their feelings, huh? It's all about how this makes you feel. One day some is gonna be like, let's make a record of all the best female players in Smash, and on the list there's gonna be majority men, who calls themselves girls, just taking up the space of actual women. This happens in track and field where men break women's records, This happens in swimming competitions where men break women's records. Are we as men not satisfied with our own gender that we have to take over the other one and become better women than actual women? It's like the actual erasure of women. Now what are the feminists gonna fight for if all the women are actually men? See my point? TL, he be mad at trans people LMAO, where the fuck is Gimru, ban his ass. Why the fuck do you care so much about cis women representation LMAO? There are issues with women or girls in general with esports. Why not address the rampant bullying, sexualization, and unnecessary hate that women athletes experience? Oh yeah, because it doesn't fit your narrative. Instead, let's talk about this non-issue that is literally just a person you don't agree with being called a woman. This representation is fine. But this representation is not fine. WTF. Go cry on Twitter or FB. @Ment. LOL. You're the living example of crying for a mod. I just think it's gross for boys to pretend to be girls. Like that time Mudiace came on stage and started to shake himself up like some pole dancer. I never cringed so hard in my life. @Gear578 for RCE. Right, just ignore my points and change the direction of the discussion. I'm not here to fix anything, I'm just here to infiltrate the minds of the lurkers who know none of this makes sense. @ULKNYT. Nope, I don't see your point. Only reason I commented is to support people who feel discriminated. That's it? Didn't read all this chat, I've got better things to do with my time. Bye. @ULKNYT. People have never been able to handle anything. People saying the new generation is soft is wrong, because they're all soft. @Beta Bucks stepdad to a single mom with 5 kids popcorn. @Dara FGC. You intentionally close your eyes to my reply. You know I am right. You know what I explained is what's going on in the real world today. It's fine though, it's obvious you can't handle an opinion that differs from yours. If you have better things to do, then be gone, go do those better things. Just know that no matter what you do or say, I'm right. It might not be socially acceptable, but just know that I'm right. @Zero. You have to admit that we live in the easiest times of human history. That's why we have to make fake problems like gender dysphoria to give ourselves an enemy. Idle hands. Zero, idle hands. @ULKNYT. I think it's gross of you to not only think that but also have the balls to say it in public like it's normal. @ULKNYT. No, I won't. People would die or end their lives before these problems were confronted. That's why people hid these things, but we don't hide them anymore, and transgender people have existed forever, as long as there has been gender. @ULKNYT. With access to internet it's just easier to see these problems. @Neoxy. I say it because it's not normal. It's obvious what's normal now is insane. It's people like you who are a majority, who just go with the flow of society because you don't want to start a conflict for voicing your opinion, or the things you like and dislike. Hate me all you want, just know that I'm right and you can't dispute that fact, so you try to tear me down on other areas to avoid the main subject. @ULKNYT. I'm literally a trans woman. I'm not going with the flow of SUCIETY. It's an actual problem that has been with humanity for thousands of years. I'm just saying that it's really gross you call us men pretending to be women when really you're the one pretending here. Pretending you don't get. Zero bitches. Smiling face with sunglasses. Smiling face with sunglasses. @Neoxy. Because you're a trans woman you're directly benefiting from society going nuts and shifting all of the definitions to suit you and your ilk. But since I know now that you're trans, tell me, for the sake of the conversation and actual curiosity, what was your reasoning for transitioning? All of the children in this comment section, you are born a male or female, you have a penis or a vagina. You can do whatever you want to make yourself feel better, but you're one or the other. @Neoxy. Oh, and I don't use that word for women, and if that's what you call women then obviously they're not of high standards. I call women ladies, not those derogatory terms. @ULKNYT. Since you seem genuinely curious, transitioning isn't really choice, more of it's just like a way to better match your gender identity. If you were born like a woman, assuming you're a guy, you'd obviously want to make yourself look more like what you identify as, in this case a guy. This transitioning to help with gender dysphoria and a bunch of other stuff, at least that's how I'd explain it, but if you want other opinions maybe don't ask in a Smash Brothers comment section. @CJ2K. Such common sense. Sadly it's a rarity in this day and age. @ULKNYT. LOL, I don't know what your point is, maybe you are right. I didn't read. Whatever dude. I just feel it's ignorant to say that shit. You must be very intelligent. At 0. I think it's better if people kept it to themselves, don't you think? Maybe not get mad at others for misgendering them. Let David Chappelle be an example for you. He can make fun of every race and gender, but he can't make fun of trans people. It really shows how fragile the ideology is. So people should keep it to themselves if they don't want the negative attention. If you go around parading as a fairy, and laugh at you, don't be mad at me, it's your fault. Right? At Dara FGC. Bro, you're literally the one not reading anything I say. How can you throw shade at my intelligence when you refuse to read? I thought you had better things to do. Why are you still here if you can't contribute? Is it because of your poor speech impediment that you can't contribute? Just remember, you threw the mud first, baby girl. At Neoxy. No, I am genuinely curious. But how does one figure out their gender identity? Let's say you are a boy, with all the boy parts. How do I get to the point that I feel like I'm better off as a girl? At KNYT, there's this thing called gender dysphoria, which is basically feeling really bad about your assigned gender at birth. Really bad shortened version, it's really complicated to explain. At Neoxy. I get you. Thanks for explaining. Do you have any questions for me? I'm planning to put the internet down for the rest of the night, so before I do, I just wanted to be sure. At KNYT, I do, out of genuine curiosity. Why did you spend 6+ hours on YouTube today bemoaning trans people? We have access to borderline near infinite information, and a few quick Google searches or whatever search engine you prefer would have been a much quicker solution to your apparent issues with trans people. Is it an attention thing? Is it a lack of things going on in your life? What stirred you to spend 6 hours nearly non-stop to act like a naive bigot instead of looking up proper sourcing and information? At Brandon. I'm on vacation, you see, and time just flew by actually. Didn't even realize all that time flew by, honestly. I meant every word though. If anyone is naive as you for just letting definitions be changed in your face, then pretend like nothing happened. Talking to an actual trans is way better than talking to Google. Now, why I did all of this? I answered that further back in my comments. It was to infiltrate the minds of the people sitting on the sidelines, the ones who know something is wrong but is too scared to say anything. I, for one, am never scared to say things that is not socially acceptable. It really shows how people go bananas when you go against the narrative. Literally cultish behavior. Whatever though, ignorance is bliss, I guess. You are just wrong, dude. Like straight up incorrect. This is a yikers even, so please, educate yourself and learn to be a decent human being for once, because I literally can't even right now. Period. Let that sink in. At KNYT, I'm not throwing shade, but the fact that your mind is assuming I did, shows how corrupted your imagination is. At 0, finally a person who is not an ignorant. I don't know from what hole this idiots came. I wonder if they are like this in person. At Cosmic Frank, people care because they have to care. It's always the transphobes that have the urge to tell everyone who is and isn't a woman, which is obviously going to instigate responses. No should care, but transphobes sure as hell do. At KNYT, the difference is a trans woman saying they are a woman is the truth. You, someone who obviously identifies as a man, saying you're a woman, would not be true. You just want to be an asshole and make this more complicated than it is. At Coldies4593, Reyes literally puts girls in quotations. Why would he do that if wasn't doubting the validity that they are girls? That's what was transphobic. At Gatton, you're so cringe, dude. Find a new place to be transphobic, please. What a cringe take. At SJ, speak on it. At 0, hey, just wanted to say good on you for putting up with a lot of internet transphobia today. Hope you've still got energy left after dealing with these fuckwits. Thank you for putting time into making our scene a better place. At KNYT, people being transphobic doesn't make you smarter or funnier. This would be a sick quote to hear from Richard Spencer. Hey Nazi, why are people supporting your beliefs? Oh, they're also Nazis like me. Please try to be less hateful. At KNYT, why do you insist on being this much of a jerk? Let people live their lives without insisting that they're freaks or unnatural. Let them play the game we all enjoy without being a monster towards them. Just do better. At Neoxy, this. At hey hi, you projecting a meaning to quotation marks that isn't there only shows us how you think. You are projecting so hard because that is something you would do. It sounds like you are the trans pope, not the person who called trans girls girls. At Coldies4593 dude, they're actually having a conversation. Sit this one out, the goalpost movement isn't working. At Ment, this comment section rocks, thank you. Been trying to find funnier things to call this person than cringe and you've nailed it in one. At Dara FGC head dog, I know your intent is good, but comparing trans women to actual females is still in the offensive zone. I think the phrasing you're looking for is there are more trans women than cis women. Not trying to take you down a peg, just educating. Thank you for calling this dickhead out. At Hey It's Mort, I was directly responding to a message to me. How about before you respond you check to see if you know what you are talking about? At KNYT dude, I just wanna say that I hate a lot of things in the world right now. I'm a white guy, I come from a decent enough background, and like you I see problems in the world. Why on earth should we make it our priority to target trans people, who as Zero pointed out are not only at higher risk of suicide but also at much higher risk of assault? Why not target an actual social group with power, like the ultra-rich? How on earth is one person doing their best to be themselves a bigger issue than the myriad, actual socio-economic problems tearing our world apart? If you want to talk positive change, let's talk about revolution. Otherwise, stop pretending that this person is an issue of actual consequence for you. And lastly, if you're trolling, or somehow trying to watch the world burn, I urge you to find a better use of your time. Making the internet and our scene less safe, more hateful space is a waste of it. And also if you want media recommendations, I caught your facts don't care and I think you could use some new podcasts. At CJ2K you've got so much cool stuff to learn about gender and sexuality. At Hey It's Mort, hey thank you. I'm a trans woman myself, have to look out for another gal you know. I stopped arguing with them because I'd already used enough of their time, and I wasn't going anywhere with that. Sometimes people just refuse to learn.